Now, tomorrow's, is it National Comic Book Day?
It is National. Yes.
So it's not
free
just
comic book day.
and also free. Well, we're going to learn more about that. Susan and Bill join us from Titusville Market Square this morning. Hey, good morning. Good to see you.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Boy, always something. And then on top of that, it's Mother's Day weekend. And Susan, you guys have a lot of special things going on. So we're going to get into that. But also National Comic Book Day, free comic
book day, right.
Bill, everybody loves talking about comic books. We're going to get into that conversation as well. Susan, where would you like to start?
Oh, gosh, let's start with Mother's Day because I went and picked up the chocolate-covered strawberries last night, the first round. We're going to have several deliveries this weekend, so that's our big thing. I'll give a shout-out to our friend Joe over at Cochranton Marketplace. He's the one preparing the strawberries for us this Mother's Day. So they look wonderful, and they are ready to go when the doors open this morning.
Oh, man. Now, you've had these before, correct?
Yes, we have.
And they sell out like...
They do. We
like
typically have gotten into the tradition of doing them at Valentine's Day and Mother's Day.
Look at those.
You know, a couple different resources for them, but they're always delicious. So a great gift.
That's fantastic. Those look amazing. All right, I'm getting hungry now, so sorry. What else can folks discover? And listen, looking for some unique gifts for Mom? Lots of great things at Market Square.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're getting, so I'll give you a couple new vendors. We're actually signing them on as we speak this weekend. There's a girl that actually did just sign on. She has new rings. We actually lost one of our vendors with handmade jewelry, and one of them, a new one, just replaced her right off the bat. Wow. We have, like all kinds of nice gifts, like 4 jewelry vendors and lots of antiques, and just like really cool stuff. Just unique things you can't find at big box stores.
And that's what people always say, right? We want those unique things. We don't want like something that everybody's going to be able. We want something that nobody else has, one of a kind,
not mass produced.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Candles, soaps, lots of things for moms.
Kind of talk a little bit about that because you've got great vendors who provide that stuff.
Yes, we have you knew you want to talk about.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a new vendor. We're just going to sign her on this weekend. Actually, she has medicinal mushroom and salves and soaps and loose tea and balms, so like just some really unique, cool things. So somebody that really specializes in that, we're just going to sign her on this weekend.
Good timing.
Yeah, good timing. Yep.
So it sounds like you could really go in and create like a nice little gift basket full of all sorts of wonderful
We even
things.
have an in-house winery if Mom would like a nice bottle of wine. Broken Straw Winery is our in-house winery.
Yes.
So.
And of course, wine is just, I mean, everybody's
and cheese.
Loves wine
and cheese.
right?
We got
we
the
do.
cheese.
Wine
so
and cheese.
A variety of cheese.
Everything we do, we have chipped up, we got chips, we got wine, we got cheese.
Well, talk about the food side of things because people are enjoying being able to come in and grab milk, and not just to take home after work, but even at lunchtime just to come in and grab something to eat or snack on.
Yeah, we have like a vendor with beef sticks and beef jerky and cheeses. Of course, we have fresh Clark's donuts every day, and I just thought of this now, but I'm going to order some extra donuts for free comic book day because it's also going to be free donut day. I'm going to have some good samplings of donuts. I'll have donut holes and maybe some cake donuts, and so let's just make it a nice day.
You see, you're letting them run wild here.
Yeah, I am. Gonna rein them in here. I see the picture of pot of gold milk flashed up, which reminds me, yesterday's flavor of the week is the Root Beer Rivers root beer flavored milk.
Root beer flavored milk.
If you haven't tried it and you like a root beer float, it is like a creamy melted root beer float. It's my favorite of the flavors. But they do like orange sunrise. We have a little bit of that left. The next flavor up will be strawberry after root beer.
Really?
But, root beer on tap.
Do you find people are coming in expecting something different in terms of the taste of the milk, just to mix it up a little bit, or are they enjoying the different varieties?
I don't know. Pot of Gold, they've been around for a while, so I mean, they've created. They have a customer base that's aware of these flavored milks, which they kind of taper off through the winter, but they started back seasonally. So all spring, summer, and into the fall, they'll be rotating the flavors that they do.
The root beer, that sounds intriguing.
And then, of course, we always have their famous chocolate milk.
Yeah,
so
stopping for that. So for comic books, Bill, what are people reading right now? I know we ask you that when you come in, but
Right.
Is it pretty consistent, or does it change up? I mean, what are some of the new things that people are looking for?
It's pretty consistent. Everybody has their is a fan of either DC or Marvel. So you got your Batman, Superman fans. You have your Fantastic Four from Marvel or X-Men, Spider-Man, of course, from Marvel. So it just, everybody has their own thing, and that's the thing about comic books. There's such a variety. Everybody thinks comic books is just superheroes. Well, it's not. There's just other stories too. There's The Walking Dead. There's some new, created series, new adventure things. So it's just not all superheroes. I wanted to talk about Free Comic Book Day. This is the 20th anniversary of it. It's always the first Saturday in May. Of course, this year is the 20th year. It started in 2002. There's a retailer around California that kind of just got the ball rolling, and our big distributor kind of helps us out with all that. So this year, it's the first Saturday is tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow's May the 7th. I'm not, because I'm not at school today. I don't know what day it is, but anyway. So it's May the 7th, Saturday. Our store hours tomorrow are 11 to 4. So it's Free Comic Book Day all day.
8 to 4 on Saturday.
What did I say?
You said 11.
11
It's
to 4
not being in
That's
school.
our Sunday hours.
Yeah, see, I'm a
8
day
a.m.
off.
sharp.
And you are
Strawberries
open.
and comics.
You will be open Mother's Day, right?
Yes.
Okay,
We
so
are open Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, 11 to 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Bill, tomorrow folks can just come in and
Yeah, and I'll have a sampling of the free comic books, and I'll show you a few right now. Like here's your Marvel one is the Spider-Man Venom one. There's a new storyline from DC with Superman and Batman called Dark Crisis, and then there's some common things that people, the older folks might remember, is like Archie.
Yeah.
Younger kids might like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here's something that's like not superheroes, Stranger Things. We know about the programs. A lot of comics inspire TV and movies. So we have Stranger Things. We got Sonic the Hedgehog. We got a Pokemon comic book here. Everybody knows Donald Duck. And
still classics, right?
Classics, and then Captain Underpants. A lot of the elementary kids
Yeah.
love these stories. So we have a comic book on that as well. So a good variety.
So again, it's a sort of. I mean, you've got a wide range audience here, right? The demographics for comics just
Yeah,
all over
from
the place.
Cradle to aged.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say grave, but we have Walking Dead comics, so it goes from the whole gamut there.
It's funny because I'm sure. Do you get people that come in and say to you like, "I don't like what they did to the look of Superman," or I'm old school this, but then it seems like they sort of rotate and they'll come back to the classic style sometimes.
Absolutely, yeah. So like I said, if you don't like that, try this. We have something for everybody.
So just come in tomorrow and
Yeah,
look through the
I'll have
comics.
like one free per person, or if I feel generous, you can get a couple. If you can't really decide between a couple, one, I'll give you a couple of comic books.
Yeah. And Sue, while Bill's doing that, folks can also be walking around and shopping and kind of picking out the stuff for Mother's Day.
Yeah, something for the whole family. While the comic fanatic is shopping for their
Right.
comics, the rest of the family, there is something kind of for everybody.
As I said before, too, like when I was just a comic book store, I would get a family in, and maybe one person in the family was really interested in the comics, and everybody else was like, "Let's get out of here, let's go." I'm not interested in comics, and that's fine because that's why we created the store. We have something for the whole family, so your comic person can go to the comic store, but somebody else can go to the wine part of it or the candy, or whatever.
We've talked before, Bill, the quality of the artwork, the artistry that goes into comic books is really incredible. And it is funny when you go over, something will catch your eye and you tend to want to pick it up and look through it.
That's the beauty of comics. And
Want to tell them about the guys that you
Oh,
had there
yeah.
like a week or so ago?
yeah, a couple weeks ago, I guess it was on April 23rd, we had some original comic creators from Erie come in, and I actually have a couple of their comic books left. They came in and did a signing and talked about their comic book. So we might actually have them come back in August for the Oil Fest. We might have some original comic people creating comics out of Erie. So
With something like that, is that, Susan, part of the big summer plans? Because this is what I want to get into too.
Right.
Is what's in
And
store
that's
for
where
you?
we are now. I'm focused on events. We're really going to ramp up something we took a stab at last year, our wine and food tasting. There's plans to have at least 10 wineries. All our food vendors that are in-house are going to come out at tables so you can sample, the cheeses and the bakery goods that we have. We have a couple local bakeries within, but it's not just all wine tasting, but it's wine and food. So we are working hard on now getting that lined up. We had our trial run at it, worked out a few kinks, and we're going to hope to have a blowout event. even stepping it up, we've hired local band Flashback is going to be playing out in
Oh,
the street
wow.
or in our parking lot near our event during that Friday night for a little bit. So yeah, we're ramping it up for Oil Festival.
But if you walk through the store, you get that sense that you try to incorporate as much local as possible and supporting those businesses. Is that something that you've always had in the back of your mind?
It is. It's always been about the local. It's all local.
I say it's our
Local
foundation.
artisans. Yeah.
It's our foundation. I mean, it is local. There's some national things, but that we rebuy, but it's just.
Yeah, our core is all local people, local farm goods and dairies and antiquers, and it's all, I think we're somewhere, I don't know where we're at, around 120-ish vendors.
Yeah. And that was something, too, that, not that it took you by surprise, but just how quickly the business grew. And just the excitement that came with that.
And when we talk about it, Bill had the concept because he was doing it with his comic books in reverse, and now we're having people come in to be our vendors, and we thought we were going to be knocking on doors, door to door, trying to seek vendors, and they just keep coming through the door. I mean, I have not. Well, I will admit, because I knew the secret of the Titusville Dairy, that I sought them out immediately as one of our first vendors.
Yeah.
And they are probably our top vendor.
Oh,
All the
wow.
Titusville Dairy products that they produce are available.
And it's a great draw, too, because people do just come in. I come up for the cottage cheese, but then they take a wander around the store, and then I didn't know this was all here, and they're liking the rest of our store. So it's
Well, the thing, too, is you're not bouncing around, 20 different places. You can go into one place and get everything you need, and then,
And it is the Titusville Dairy selling it within our store, so the pricing's the same. You used to be able to go over to the plant, and then, with COVID and the pandemic, they stopped all incoming into the plant, and a lot of older people complain about climbing the stairs. You don't have to climb the stairs.
Right.
And we're open 7 days a week, so the availability of it, I think we've shown a light on the Titusville Dairy products. You either knew about it or you didn't at a point, but now it's really created a lot of awareness. And it's locally made right here in Titusville.
Convenient.
I have to give a shout out to Dan Smith's Candies in Clarion, talking about reverse. I am a vendor in another place in Clarion. Dan Smith Candies, she kind of consulted me about what we were doing, and she's doing it now. They moved to a new, bigger building where it was Wine's clothing store, and they have their candy shop downstairs, but upstairs they have many, antique vendors, and I have a whole spot for just my comics too. So I'm kind of doing the reverse. I'm being a vendor at somebody else's that I think we inspired to.
And we're carrying the Dan Smith candies in our store too, so we're kind of
look at that partnership.
So now we're going, inner city, international. We're going different
That's
cities.
networking, Susan. That's
That was
networking
him.
there.
Yeah.
That was him on that one.
Yeah.
I'll give him the credit.
You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream Television and on Armstrong's Neighborhood Channel and listening to it on the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. Titusville Market Square, great place to go and get a free comic book tomorrow. So, Bill, will you be bouncing around then, or?
Yeah, I'll be bouncing off the walls probably. Yeah.
What comic are you reading right now?
I still just like to read the old classic. I'm reading the horror comics from the 50s, so I have some actually
I love
reprint
those.
graphic novels like the Tales of the Crypt, Vault of Horror, so that kind of stuff. I love that.
Yeah, and of course you've mentioned before your big collection of Mad
Mad,
magazines.
yeah, I'm always keeping up with Mad, yeah.
Yeah, that's one that was when I was a kid was one that I absolutely loved.
Yeah, I just got some back. Oh, that's what I just got to mention. Do we have a moment?
Yeah,
to mention? Okay. Speaking of, I just got some back issues of Mad in too that I can resell some stuff from the early '70s, and I've been getting a lot of older comic collections coming in. I have an ad in the area shopper about that I'm buying comic books, so I'm getting people with collections. So I'm trying to build up my back issues, and that's kind of a bigger, growing part of my business. Is the unique
People
back
looking
issues.
for those classics?
Yeah, they want the old stuff, and some stuff is getting really valuable because if a character's popular in a movie, then everybody's trying to speculate and grab the first appearance
Oh,
of
that's
the character.
interesting.
You don't know this, but I came up with an idea
Okay.
when we first opened. Yeah, watch this.
I
Bring
like
this on.
watching this play out. By the way,
This is good. He's gonna love this.
How's this working here,
When we
Susan?
first opened, we were trying to fill space, and Bill put his entire collection of Mad magazines on display, the world's largest collection on display. So we have this second floor space that we were talking, and one idea I thought of is we could make kind of a little museum area And maybe at some point we get that they could come upstairs and
That's news
visit
to me right now. That's cool.
the Mad Magazine Museum.
Could
We can have
be.
some other things up there. We're going to refurbish it for some office space for
Right.
ourselves. But I thought it's a big area, and that's something we could have people come up, during events and view the collection.
Good
That
idea.
would
I
be
just
cool.
thought of that.
Yeah, that would be
Good
cool.
idea.
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes in, Bill, and says, "Boy, I want to get started on a comic, but where do I start?" Do you help them out with that?
I do. I just pretty much ask them, well, what do you like? What type of TV stories do you like? What type of movies do you like? And do you like horror? You like humor? You want Archie's, or do you want Spider-Man? Whatever. So I just kind of guide them what they like to read. Sometimes I just lay back, let them look around it, because it's all pretty much displayed and organized pretty well that you can kind of look and see, what you might be interested in.
Is it one of those things where if you have a kid that maybe doesn't enjoy reading, and maybe 'cause you're in the school system, right?
Right.
But you put a comic in front of them, they light up a little bit, don't they?
They do, and I'm actually a reading aid teacher at Main Street School, and I do notice I've seen some kids that have trouble reading, but I do see them, like on their free time, they are reading a comic book. So I mean,
Yeah.
this is a great thing to teach people to read. I had a customer a long time ago in the '90s. He came from Thailand and he couldn't speak English, but he became a great big customer because he learned to read English from comic books.
Wow, that's interesting.
Bill, is the number one demographic still for comic books children?
Absolutely not, and I wish
Oh.
it was.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
No, actually, I'm trying to push to the children, but it's actually people in their 30s and up, because I don't know, maybe the younger generation, they're into video games and
Yeah.
whatnot, but no, we're actually trying to. Number one demographic is 30 and up.
You mentioned movies, but what about video games? Are they turning some of those video games into comics, or vice versa?
It is, yeah, absolutely. There are video game themed comic books, so we're trying to grab that demographic. Definitely, yeah.
So really, because those are some pretty in-depth stories in those games, those would really translate well on the comic book
They
side
are,
of
and
things.
they're using it. Like Fortnite, really big. Well,
Yeah.
there are some Fortnite-themed DC books, and there's some Fortnite-themed Marvel books too right now. So
Nice collections, right? So if somebody is coming in and maybe they want to get caught up, or they talk about, comics from 20 years ago, are companies starting to? I think Walking Dead did this, where they finally took a number of years and put them all together in a nice
compendium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are they doing a lot of that?
They are, and actually, Walking Dead, the original series of comic books, Walking Dead, was a black and white comic. Well, they're redoing it now. They just started about a year ago, and they're redoing all the issues in color though this time. So, and I do have most of those available from 1 up to like 30 right now. They're all in color.
And you also have some other collectibles there that people can check out.
Records
Yes.
and coins.
Oh yeah. And now I got to push this too. I have 2 other vendors now. There's a yeah. Thank you. We just signed on a vinyl record vendor, which I dabbled in that a little bit, but it's just like I am so busy with the comics, I don't have time for records. So I have a guy that's just like I am to comics, he's to records. So he's got them all organized and bagged and stickered, and they're just beautiful, vinyl records. And he's just gonna grow with that. He would also be interested. Anybody interested in selling the records, you can call us at the store, and we'll push you onto that vendor. Then we have another vendor that's doing coins, Claire, and he's buying coins as well. So if you call the store and you want to sell your old comics, you want to sell your vinyl, or you want to sell your coins, Claire also does a little baseball cards. So any kind of collectible, you can call our store, and we'll just push you to that vendor that's buying things. And we get calls all the time, and we don't necessarily buy antiques, us as the store, but we'll guide you to a vendor that might purchase them.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's recap real quick. Mother's Day weekend, Susan, what do you have?
Chocolate-covered strawberries, jewelry, candles, we got it all.
And the hours this weekend?
Tomorrow, Saturday, we're open 8 to 4.
Okay, you got that.
Right. Yep. And if the crowds are still there at 4, we'll stay open
stay
a little
open
longer.
later.
We're not going to push you out at 4 if you're checking us
Sunday's
out.
11 to 4.
Yeah.
Short day on
Yep.
Sunday.
Free comics, free donuts tomorrow.
For Saturday. Yeah, take advantage of that and pick up stuff for mom and stuff for around the house, too.
Yeah.
All right. Susan, Bill, good to see you this
Thanks.
morning.
Good to see you. Thank
Thanks
you.
for your time.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, thank you.